hey, I think you're awesome. Goodbye. Send. Takes longer to brush your teeth than to do that, right? Like this is not stuff that needs to weigh on us this way because it is a whole pile of tiny tasks, right? You can keep doing these tiny tasks. They make mad progress, as the kids say. Okay. So, the core question for me in this and the teacher in me is like, this is all great, but what do you do now? Because, I mean, like 4 days of progress is great, but my friends, 4 days of progress doesn't really do it for me. Like, I love you and I would like more for you. And so, like, option one is to continue to use your bingo board, but I'm not going to be here every day at 2 o'clock. I would like to be, but I kind of am. In the way, ooh, Jillian's back. She had to go through security. And so for me, the goal here is to stop playing the 4 day version and start playing the year-long version. And yesterday I was sitting on the back patio and I was making these slides. And I made them in the traditional sales version way that people do, that I have been taught to do. And then I realized how much I hated them. So I did something different. So I decided there are 5 reasons you should say yes to joining us in the lab. And I will tell you a little about the lab, but here are my 5 reasons. A year is long enough. There is a reason it's a year and not 4 days or 4 weeks or 4 months. A year is long enough to really actually get what you need without feeling pressured or rushed or like you have to stop your life in order to learn all the things. When a container is too small, it sucks because then it ends before you're ready and you felt like you had to cram it all in. This is about like if you fall apart in September and you take your month off, great, come back. Like you won't die. If if you're like January eats my lunch, great. Okay. This is about growing the business you want versus the one you should have. And the business you want is one where like if a month happens to you and your life is a shit show for a minute, it's okay. That's why you're here in business. Number 4 is that the consistent, flexible, simple framework that you can make yours makes a difference, right? Ground, plan, connect, sell. We keep it simple, my dudes, as the baseball coach likes to say. And that made me laugh when I typed it, so I left it there. And my husband was looking over my shoulder. He was like, "Did you really put that in a slide?" And I was like, "Yes, man, that works in a corporate environment. I sure did." And I used a balloon for it because it made me happy. But I really like there is magic in consistent, flexible simplicity in community. And I don't want you to do it my way. I want you to do it your way. Like Clarissa does it different than Jess does it, then does it different than me, then does it different than Renee, then we'll do it different than Krista. I need you to do that way. And my job is to afford that for you, is to help you be like, that's not mine. That's a yuck, but not a yum. It's the gross ice cream flavors Jillian had yesterday that somebody liked, right? I was listening to an NPR story today about onion ice cream, which sounds like a no for me, but like it exists for something. I don't know. Number 3, the lab is accountability with a hefty side of trust. As I told people yesterday, it's consistency, but there is no shame, there is no blame, there's no mind games. You are worth believing in, period. And that really matters to me. Treating people like adults really matters to me. Letting people be trusted and feel trustworthy so that they can build trust in themselves and consistency at the same time really matters to me more than anything. You are worth believing in, and nobody here has a business that isn't going to work, right? It's so rare that I meet any of those. Every now and then I'm like, good luck with that. But it's usually some dude and he's trying to like sell me one sock. And you're like, okay, well, I don't know if this is going to work, sir, but more power to you. This is all about service. And if you are here in service, it's going to work. But it's trust without shame, right? The research and education and in learning about the role of shame in learning and how detrimental it is applies in business. You don't get further by beating the daylights out of yourself. If you did, you'd already be there. Okay, number two is because you and your business deserve support, community, coaching, and tools. As I tell myself all the time, and I'm not always right, is there's no prize for doing it the hardest way possible. I, but I would like to win that prize. So sometimes I try to be the Olympian. Y'all do the same. None of us are or do it alone, right? We do not need to do it alone. We do not need to do it the hardest way possible. There is no like, we have a family friend and their daughter is going through a really hard time right now. And the mom gets it and the dad, I don't know. And he was like, "Well, she can just tough it out." And what I said to them both, because I can't close my mouth sometimes, was, "Why would that be necessary? Why would we do this the hardest way possible when there are alternative options? Like, how is that serving her?" And he just looked at me like, huh, like, I don't know if it made a dent, but I'm going to tell you what, I would have felt bad if I hadn't said it, right? So I'm going to say that, and that is true in business just as it is in parenting. And for those of you with children, those people are a lot of work. People need what you have. The number one reason for the lab is people need what you have and what you have to offer. That is the truth of it. It's time to show up consistently for your people, and that is what the lab is about. Ultimately, it's about making sales and creating impact and service because there are people that need what you do, period. And you hiding that and you not being out in the world is a crime. It's not cool to hide really good skills. It's just not. And I'm not cool with it. So it's what you want to do, even it's what you want anyways, even though it's scary. Like that's the thing. Like you want to help the people. You just get in your own way because your brain does that. And that's fine. That's why I'm here to be like, nope, we're gonna do this anyways. Clarissa will tell you. Clarissa's in the lab. Clarissa, where did we decide this week that today this was the week the connection matrix was happening?
I'm sorry, ask me the question again. I heard the words they didn't process.
Where did we decide this week that the connection matrix had to go out today or Monday?
Monday.
We were in planning, monthly
Oh
planning.
yeah, planning. Yeah.
And she was like, "Well, I'd like this thing. I'd like to be ready." Like, "Well, what is it ready now?" And she was like, "Well, yeah." And I was like, "Okay, well, today's a good day." And there it is. And do you already have sales?
I do.
Sometimes it's
Yep.
that magic. Sometimes you just need somebody to be like, "Let's go. Come on." I'm good at that. And I love you. But I wasn't, she didn't die. Look, she's still here.
And I made some money. It was
Right.
ready enough.
It was ready enough. And we know the difference between ready enough and not ready. That's part of my job to help you with. Sometimes it's ready enough. And also, like, it's okay when it's scary to still offer it. Okay. The lab is, whoa, Sarah, a year-long membership. It's about making the business as simple and as weird and as you as the work you love is energizing. Truly. It's about building confidence. It's about simplifying plans and to-dos. It's about making it consistent and it's about making money because we don't do all this work for free. That was teaching, right? Like that was my teaching career. That was doing it for free. Like I don't do that anymore. Right? Sometimes people come in and they're like, "I just want to make the same hourly rate." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I just want you to make triple that." Right? I have a client who runs a tutoring business and she has somebody that she just asked to contract for her. It's going to be her first contractor. And she said to the woman, how much do you want to make an hour? And the lady said $30. And she was like, "How about 60?" She negotiated backwards and she was like, "I felt so bad." She was like, "But there is no way I'm paying somebody as smart as her $30 an hour." That is the gift of running a business. Now she's going to pay this lady double what that lady thought she could make. That's everything. It's everything. Okay. In the lab, here's just the long and short of how it works. There's two live sessions a week. One of them is where we work on things like planning, like goal setting, like group coaching, like offers, like reflection. And one is where we work together in co-working. And you come in and you say, "Today I'm planning," or "Today I'm working on grounding things," or "Today I'm working on connections or selling." We do that. There is a weekly Set of prompts that I have figured out finally how to make go on email. Ha! And that lives in the lab. But I was so proud when I made that happen. Like sometimes, ha! Technology. There is the assessment that you saw, and you can use that as much as you want, and that really changes. There are mini courses on grounding, planning, connecting. The selling one is almost done. There is the full course that is selling for weirdos that you can use pieces of. There are more games and challenges, and there are some cool guest experts coming in the fall. One is going to talk up to us about um, AI and marketing and using AI intentionally in marketing, but as like a starter point and a checkpoint rather than a full generator. And she's got a really interesting way that she's thinking about that. And she's so flippin' smart. And I just kind of love her. So she's going to come play with us and teach us some things. What?
Do we have a date for that yet?
No.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
I'm like
I just,
probably October.
oh, okay.
Yeah, fall. Fall. Actual fall. September fall is not fall. September is on fire. September is like forget it. Plus, like I am in the lab. The lab is where I am happy. We are in it together. You will have each other. You will have me. In the lab, okay, so like when I was talking to somebody about like summer bonuses, it was like lifetime pricing. Clarissa will laugh because she likes to do like a lifetime pricing things. I am not a fan of a lifetime pricing thing because a lifetime is a long ass time. I like, as I told you guys the other day, changing the price whenever I want. So I was like, nope, can't do that. But what I am going to do, because I think actually it is the most impactful thing, is two 45-minute onboarding people calls with each person that joins in the next week. We'll do one at the start to map where you need to go and how you're going to focus. We'll do one after 3 months as a check-in and to update and see where you are and poke at all the things. And then we are going to do quarterly small group calls, which is going to mean that the community you created here you get to keep. And it'll give you sort of like an inside cohort inside the larger thing. And that's kind of magical to have people to travel with and play with along the way. The connection part, I know people sort of are like, community. But when you're doing stuff like this and it's hard, finding your person that you can be like, what the hell was this thing is important and is really a part of the game just as much as everything else. Um, this really matters to me. And so these are the bonuses through the end of next week. I kind of love them. They are not like X dollars off or any of those things, but I don't know, those are not the bonuses I usually believe in as a salesperson. And the thing I know about events like this is I am just as much running my own thing and doing it my own way as modeling what's possible. And I try to be really upfront about stuff like that. So sometimes I do discounts, but oftentimes it's like, hey, I'm going to raise the price and this is get it before it goes up. Because I'm not a big discounter. Okay. Thoughts, questions, reasons why not, things you need to know, things you want to tell me, things that were wins, things that were not wins. Um, and we'll do lab membership winners because they are the full bingo people. Plus, I have one other that I'm maybe going to give away because I do what I want. Um, this has been my theme for the week. I do what I want. Things you have thoughts on. I'm gonna stop talking. It's really hard, especially when you guys don't talk to me.
I
I'll
am.
talk. Oh, yeah,
Okay,
you
go
go.
ahead.
You go, Clarissa, you go.
I,
I'm
I was gonna
always
say,
up for talking, so I'll zip it and you go.
no, I appreciate the lab. Like, I would genuinely like, why did I do this week? It's because I got more Sarah in my life. Like, you've been a huge kick in the ass for me, and I appreciate that. And it's the way my schedule works. That's why I was like, oh, do we have a date for that? Like, I had somebody reach out to me about an event next week, and I'm like, yeah, no. Talk to me about something in September because that's how my world is. And so like being able to go in and like be like, these are all the lab things, they're in my calendar. And unless something substantial changes, like they're my priority because it's nice being in small or like not small, but like being in community with like-minded people and you as a kick in the ass. So thank you.
I love you back. Kristen Sobel.
Yeah, I just want to say this challenge was incredible. I, and just the way you do this, we're in similar worlds. And I just want to say what you do and the way you do it is so smart because one of the big things I see with my clients is it can easily become overcomplicated and it can easily become this like oh, another thing I failed at. And the way you did this of like making it so doable and the all the little things compound. So like I ended up making offers that I've been putting on the back burner. I'm a salesperson. That is
Hey.
what I do. Like I was paid professionally to sell, and it's so much harder in your own business. I just
Yep.
want to say the way you did this was brilliant and so well done.
Oh, thank you. Well, and I was talking to my husband about it the other day, which makes me laugh about that, and I don't mean it like, is that like this is they always say to you like do what's easy for you and remember it's valuable. Like
Right.
this is what's easy for me. Like make a game, turn it into a bingo board, amazing. Like it's so much easier to sell other people's stuff. That's actually so true. And I
Yes.
often pretend I am selling other people's stuff because that's how I hijack
Yeah.
my brain personally. But I also think it really matters. Like my teacher background, I think one of the things it gives me is bite size,
Hmm.
right? For people. And I think that that really makes a difference because in a challenge like this, it does get really complicated really fast when you ask people to do too many things at once. And I'm a big like, let me just here do the
Yes.
this little thing, and this little
Yeah.
thing. I have a client right now. We're working on communicating with her boss. She's communicating up because she's a leader of an organization that has an umbrella organization, and we're learning how to like give him just the next piece he needs in her grand plan, and it's going very well. We're
Yeah.
selling in the reverse. Clarissa, your hand is up.
Because I texted Melissa, who is one of the members of our Trusted Expert Network, and I was like, "So, Trusted Expert Network bingo once a month,
Oh,
once a quarter, once a something." Because it's not just like an activator for each of us, but like I said, like the community, is
yep.
it's a fun way to motivate activity, but also to bring professionals together. And like I like how you're like, come when you can, don't come when you can't, and like
Yep.
it's a thing. So I'm borrowing it.
Please, please. Like when I was 15, I took water safety. I took swimming lesson instructor courses from this woman. Her name was Bonnie Brown. And she used to say to us that the biggest compliment you can give a teacher is to steal one of their ways of doing something. And so we'd be like, and she was like, I don't know, 4'9" and the scariest person on the planet. She was terrifying. And you'd be like, okay, I am gonna do it exactly like you because I don't know what happens if I don't. But like she would say, the biggest compliment you can give me as a teacher is to do it in a way that reminds you of me. And that's still true. Like that's steal away. I didn't invent bingo. I invented this version of bingo and I made up the rules. And then you guys were all like, cool, I'll follow your rules. And I was like, well, okay, let's do that. Thoughts, other things you need, things you want. August, September.
I was very curious about your grounding exercise that you said you do a journal grounding exercise every morning.
I do. So for me, it is two things actually. It's nice to see you, Jess. Please do. I do two things. The first is I write down three things I'm celebrating, along with one thing I want and one thing I need. And celebrating is intentionally the word and not gratitude. Because I think gratitude is external facing and celebration is internal facing. And I try to be really aware of like celebrating internally facing things. And sometimes it's like everybody ate yesterday, but like gratitude is different because gratitude feels like it's to someone else and this is about me, right? And I really struggle writing down like one thing I want out of every day is hard. So I have forced myself on that and continue to. And some days I'm like, I don't know, I want cookies. And then I write down cookies. Like it's so ridiculous, but it's also how it goes. And then the other thing I do is that's one notebook that has just all of that, and the other notebook, because I apparently needed two notebooks, has a page a day, and it is a small notebook because I don't be writing in big notebooks because I that's too much space to fill. Um, but it's generally either what's working right now, what matters right now, um, what are next steps? Like earlier this week, it was like, what are all the reasons people should say yes? So like I have a set of questions, and also speaking of games, I have what I play prompts in a cup. So when I don't know what to ask myself and I can't answer a question for myself, I just make me pick one out the cup and I answer that one because I can't decide the question is too hard. So I have questions and I just pick one because I can't be doing that kind of mental gymnastics. I'll answer it if I pick it. And sometimes I poke it out of the cup and I'm like, terrible. And then I'm mad and then I answer it anyways. But that's really, and it might be 10 minutes, maybe. But um, does that make any sense or is it insane?
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Because it's basically before you just jump into the stuff, the ideas, you settle and you get
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I really actively try not to do it at my desk. Like I try to take those notebooks to the back porch or to the kitchen or to anywhere but here because what
Mhm.
happens here is I'll be writing over here and then my little fingers will be like, but on my computer, and then I'll have to like slap my own hand and go back over here. And then I like it's like this drift, like something will ding or whatever. So I try to leave my phone on my desk and take my notebooks elsewhere because otherwise I can't deal with myself. Like I still probably 6 or 7 years into doing this, I still set myself a timer because otherwise I'm like three sentences in and I'm like, okay, well,
Mhm.
and I'm like up out of my chair and then I have to be like, Sarah, the timer didn't go off yet. And I put my butt back in the chair and I move and then I go back to what I'm doing. But I literally will be like halfway out of my seat if I don't set some kind of timer because I'm a goldfish in the morning and I need rules.
Get it. That's awesome.
I don't know. I need that settling, but that's exactly what it's for. Um, Woo, yay. Abby, when you get that bingo, let me know. Please, please, please. All right. Um, I actually, so full card bingos are going to be in the lab for 3 months right off the gate. I have four of those. So Clarissa's next 3 months are paid. Um, I have a couple of those. I'm going to give it a couple of days to see what else comes in on full card bingos. So please know that. But if if you have questions about the lab, if you have questions about other versions of work, if you need stuff, like I don't disappear off the face of the earth. I am here in this office at this desk pretty much every day, unless my son is in my chair because he says this is our office now. Um, Welcome to summer. And he's like, no, no, we're working in our office. And the other day he was sitting back there and I was like, you gotta go, dude. I gotta call. And he was like, I'm quiet. I'm not saying anything. And I was like, nope, nope, you can't stay. You gots to go. And he was like, but they don't hear me. And I was like, they don't want a 12-year-old as a part of this conversation. Nobody wants that. Like, dear God. Which is better than what he did during COVID was just stand over my shoulder and watch the people on the screen like a little lurky ghost. He would just be like, right here. It's great. Super. So at least we're not doing that anymore. Um, but I am delighted that you all played. Like for me, everybody has the like, is this gonna work? Every time people join in my game and actually play, I'm like, so silly, but amazing. Like, and that it helps make progress is stellar. There have been probably 5 sales directly out of this week so far. There are probably, I would say, some more than 100 connections made. Um, there have been at least 10 referrals people have gotten at this point, or testimonials. Like there are a lot of good things happening, and that is the progress that matters. And for me, in the end, it's all about progress. So it is nice to see your faces. Please don't let it be the last time I see your faces. I like your faces. But we will talk again soon. The people who are getting things will hear from me. And please keep telling me things because there are things to get. Like I like a prize. I have a credit card. We're gonna do great. I will see you soon, friends. And if you need me, I'm around. Thanks for playing.
Thank you so much.